Welcome to the chilling world of Liechtenstein, where history, mystery, and the supernatural collide. From haunted castles to eerie cemeteries, this small country hides some of the most spine-tingling haunted places in Europe. Join us as we explore the top 15 haunted places in Liechtenstein, each with its own dark story waiting to be uncovered. One, Vaduz Castle. High above the sleepy capital of Vaduz, perched like a silent sentinel on the edge of the mountain, looms Vaduz Castle. A place of power, yes, but also of something far darker. While by day, it stands proudly as the official residence of the royal family. By night, the fortress transforms. Locals whisper of a white lady, a sorrowful spirit believed to be the ghost of a noblewoman who perished within the castle walls centuries ago. Some say betrayed, others say cursed. She is seen gliding through the corridors when the moon is full, her translucent gown trailing behind her like mist. Guards, sworn to secrecy, speak of unexplained footsteps, voices echoing from empty chambers, and doors slamming shut on their own. Some even claim the castle walls themselves seem to breathe, as though remembering every secret ever whispered within. Visitors are not allowed inside, but those who live nearby say that if you stand below the cliffs on a stormy night, you might hear her weeping, carried on the wind, or worse, calling your name. Second, Gutenberg Castle. In the quiet village of Balzers, where the mist clings to the rooftops like fingers from another world, rises Gutenberg Castle, a majestic stone fortress with a grim and restless soul. Though restored to beauty, its walls hide centuries of torment. Legend speaks of a knight betrayed by his own kin, thrown from the highest tower, his death marked by a blood moon that stained the sky red. Since then, his vengeful spirit is said to roam the grounds, his armor clanking softly in the dead of night. Visitors have reported cold winds with no source, whispers in a language no one understands, and the chilling sense of being watched from the shadows. Some claim that when the church bell tolls midnight, a dark figure appears in the courtyard, only to vanish if approached. Locals avoid the area after dusk, warning travelers with trembling voices. Don't look into the windows after dark. Sometimes, something looks back. Dritte Alte Rheinbrücke. Stretching silently over the dark waters of the Rhine, the Alte Rheinbrücke, or Old Rhine Bridge, is more than just a passage between Liechtenstein and Switzerland. Built of ancient wood and shadow, it carries with it the weight of forgotten tragedies. Long ago, a lonely ferryman was said to have drowned beneath this very bridge during a storm, his boat swallowed by the river's fury. Since then, travelers have reported phantom footsteps behind them, echoing on the planks, though no one is there. On foggy nights, some claim to see a figure, cloaked, dripping wet, standing mid-bridge, staring into the water. If approached, he simply vanishes, leaving behind only the sound of water sloshing beneath your feet and a sudden chill that cuts to the bone. Locals say if you cross the bridge at midnight and whisper the ferryman's name, you might hear him whisper yours in return from beneath the surface. But beware, once you hear his voice, it's said the river will never forget you. 4th Street Florin Cathedral. Beneath the towering spire of St. Florin Cathedral, nestled in the heart of Vaduz, lies a sacred ground steeped not only in faith, but in fear. Built over older forgotten chapels, this neo-Gothic church hides more than just the prayers of its parishioners. For years, whispers have echoed through the candlelit halls of a phantom priest. A tall, solemn figure in faded vestments, seen walking slowly between the pews long after midnight mass. Some believe he was once the cathedral's head clergyman who died during confession, his final words lost in silence. Visitors report candles extinguishing on their own, cold gusts in sealed rooms, and a pipe organ that plays a single haunting note at exactly 3:07 a.m., the hour of his death. Even more unsettling, a few have claimed to feel an unseen hand rest gently on their shoulder, only to turn and find nothing but shadow. Locals say, if you enter alone, don't speak aloud. He listens, and sometimes he answers. 5th, Sean Parish Church. In the town of Sean, where cobblestone streets wind like veins through ancient walls, stands Sean Parish Church, a place where light and shadow seem to dance in eerie harmony. While the church is often filled with the soft murmur of prayers, there are nights when the silence is shattered by the sound of a woman's cry, a heart-wrenching wail that echoes through the aisles. It's said that long ago, a woman in white, her grief so overwhelming, took her own life within these very walls. Her spirit, unable to find peace, still wanders the pews, crying out for her lost love. Worshippers have reported hearing her footsteps pacing the stone floor, and some claim to have seen her face, pale and sorrowful, reflected in the altar's golden light. Most chilling of all, some have felt her cold breath on their necks, a warning to leave before the sorrow consumes them too. Locals warn, if you ever hear her cry, never turn back. It's said she won't let you go until she's not the only one lost in the dark. 6. The ruins of Shalun Castle. High above the village of Shan, hidden by thick foreboding trees, lie the ruins of Shalun Castle, a place long abandoned by time, yet never quite forgotten. Though the stone walls have crumbled and the towers no longer stand, something still lingers in the air, an ancient, restless presence. Locals speak in hushed tones of shadowy figures that can be seen pacing the ruins after dark, their forms barely visible in the moonlight. Some say they are the souls of the knights who once defended the fortress, eternally bound to protect its secrets. Others whisper of something far darker, an ancient curse that binds the spirits of those who died there in bloody battles. Visitors brave enough to explore the ruins at night have reported hearing faint whispers, and some have claimed to see glowing eyes peering out from behind the broken walls. The most chilling tale of all is of those who have felt an icy hand upon their shoulder, only to turn and find no one there. If you ever find yourself near Shalun Castle at dusk, be sure to leave before the shadows grow long, for those who stay too long may find themselves becoming part of the ruins' eternal watch. 7. The Red House in Vaduz. In the heart of Vaduz, nestled between towering buildings, stands a peculiar structure that most pass by without a second glance, the One Red House. Its striking crimson walls stand in stark contrast to the surrounding buildings, almost as if it were trying to hide a dark secret. Legend has it that this house was built upon the foundation of an old sorcerer's lair, where unspeakable rituals were once performed in the dead of night. The sorcerer, seeking immortality, was rumored to have made a terrible pact with dark forces. After his sudden disappearance, the house was abandoned, but not for long. Strange occurrences soon followed. Locals speak of chera, shadowy figures, moving behind the curtains, flickering lights when no one is inside, and an unshakable feeling of being watched by unseen eyes. Some even claim that anyone who spends the night inside is being random plagued by terrible dreams. Visions of a man in black robes calling from the shadows. On rare occasions, late at night, through a crimson glow of the house's walls, intensifies, as if the curse is alive, waiting for its next victim. Those who pass by after dark warn, stay away from the Red House, for some curses never fade. Eight. Obere Berg. High on a hill, overlooking the village of Schellenberg, stands the ancient Obere Berg. A once mighty fortress now in ruins, forgotten by time, yet haunted by its violent past. The castle, built to defend the land, was the site of brutal battles and bloodshed, and it is said that the spirits of fallen knights still wander its crumbling walls. Visitors who dare venture up the hill at dusk report hearing the hoarse clashing of swords and the sounds of phantom footsteps echoing through the desolate halls. Some have even claimed to see figures in medieval armor, their faces hidden beneath their helmets, marching silently along the battlements, as though guarding an invisible enemy. But it's the eerie silence at night that unsettles most. A silence so thick, it feels like the castle itself is holding its breath. The most chilling sight is the ghostly procession of knights that appears just before dawn, walking slowly across the broken bridge leading into the castle. If you're unlucky enough to be caught in their path, you'll feel the cold touch of a long-dead warrior brushing past you. A silent warning to leave before the castle claims your soul too. Obere Berg may be abandoned, but its knights are forever bound to the ruins, and their restless spirits still haunt the hilltop, waiting for the next lost soul to wander too close. Ninth, Lower Castle. Nestled beneath the towering Obere Berg, the Lower Castle in Schellenberg is a place where the past refuses to die. In the quiet of the night, this ancient ruin becomes alive with whispers, faint voices carried by the wind, whispers that no living soul can place. It is said that these voices belong to those who perished here during a long-forgotten siege, their final words lost to time, but now trapped forever within the stone. The ruin itself seems to breathe, with sudden gusts of wind sweeping through its broken walls, even on still nights. Some claim to hear the screams of soldiers, or the faint sound of chains rattling in the darkness. One of the most disturbing stories is that of a shadowy figure seen in the tower window, a figure that vanishes as quickly as it is seen. Those brave enough to explore after dark often report an overwhelming sense of dread, as if something is watching them from the shadows. It's as if the lower castle is alive, holding on to its secrets and refusing to let go. Leave before the whispers get too close, or you may find yourself part of the ruin's restless history. Tenth, Treisenberg Cemetery. In the shadow of the Treisenberg Mountains lies the Treisenberg Cemetery, a place where the dead are said to never truly rest. Under the heavy cloak of fog that often blankets the area, eerie whispers drift between the ancient gravestones, as if the spirits of the departed are still trying to communicate. Local legends tell of horse spirits rising from their graves, walking the cemetery's narrow paths at night. The most chilling tale is that of a young woman, buried long ago, whose ghostly figure is seen weeping at her grave, her face obscured by her long tangled hair. Those who venture too close claim to feel an icy hand brush their shoulder or hear the unmistakable sound of footsteps behind them. Yet when they turn, no one is there. The air around the cemetery feels heavier, colder, as if something is watching from the shadows. Beware if you wander there after dusk. The spirits of Triesenberg may not let you leave with your soul intact. Triesenberg Village. Nestled in the mist-covered hills of Liechtenstein, Triesenberg Village is a place where the living are never truly alone. It is said that the village holds secrets that only the fog can reveal. On quiet nights, the streets are filled with whispers, carried by the wind, voices of the lost souls who once lived here. Locals speak of eerie lights that flicker in windows long after they've been abandoned, and shadows that move of their own accord. The most chilling legend is that of a woman in black, whose ghostly figure is seen walking the streets at midnight, her mournful cries echoing through the empty village. Some claim that if you follow her, you will be led deep into the forest, where the spirits of the lost rope are said to gather, waiting for their next victim. Triesenberg Village may look peaceful by day, but after nightfall, it becomes a place where the past refuses to let go, and the whispers of the dead are always waiting to find you. 12. Eschen Cemetery. Tucked away in the quiet town of Eschen, the Eschen Cemetery is a place where the line between the living and the dead blurs. By day, it's a serene resting place for the departed, but by night, the cemetery transforms into a realm of unsettling stillness. Those brave enough to walk its paths after dark often report a strange, present silence, as though the very air is thick with the weight of unseen eyes. Visitors have spoken of cold spots that seem to appear out of nowhere, and the unsettling feeling that they are being watched from the shadows. Some claim to hear the faint sound of footsteps, but when they turn, no one is there. The most terrifying tale is of a tall, shadowy figure seen standing near the oldest graves, staring out over the cemetery as though waiting for something or someone. Eschen Cemetery is not just a place for the dead, but for the spirits that refuse to rest, lurking beneath the stones, waiting for the living to wander too close. 13th. Malbon Ski Resort. In the heart of the Malbon Ski Resort, where snow blankets the mountains in a pristine white veil, there's a chilling presence hidden beneath the beauty. Beneath the cheerful sounds of skiers and snowboards, there are whispers of ancient spirits that haunt the slopes. Locals tell tales of disappearing skiers, lost in the snowstorm, only to be found days later, but changed, their eyes empty, as if they've seen something that should never be seen. As night falls, the resort takes on an eerie quietness, and some have reported hearing unexplained laughter carried on the wind, or seeing shadowy figures moving along the mountainside. The most unsettling story is of a lone skier who ventured too far off track and was never seen again. But the eerie sounds of his skis scraping the snow can still be heard in the distance. In Malbon, the snow hides more than just tracks. It hides secrets of those who never made it back. The mountains remember, and they never forget. 14th. Nendeln Railway Station. At the quiet Nendeln Railway Station, time seems to stand still. Hidden in the shadows of the tracks, something unsettling lingers in the air. It's said that on foggy nights, when the station is deserted and the only sound is the distant whistle of the wind, the ghostly train of the past can be heard approaching. The phantom train. A spectral vision of a long-forgotten era roars down the tracks, though no train ever comes. Those who stand too close to the platform at midnight report hearing footsteps and muffled voices, as if the train is carrying passengers from another time, people who never reached their destination. Some claim to have seen the ghostly lights of the train flickering in the distance, only for them to vanish just as quickly. 15th Kapellsteg. In the dense woods near Kapellsteg, a small chapel stands, almost swallowed by the surrounding forest. While it seems peaceful by day, when the sun sets, the chapel's true nature is revealed. It is said that, many years ago, a young woman once sought refuge here, seeking solace in her grief. But in the cold silence of the chapel, she vanished, never to be seen again. Locals now speak of hearing a soft, mournful cry, drifting through the trees at night, as if her spirit still searches for peace. Some claim to see her pale face flickering in the chapel's windows, or to feel a sudden coldness as they pass by. On dark nights, the air grows unnervingly still, and the wind whispers secrets of the lost woman who is forever trapped between this world and the next. Kapellsteg is a place where the past lingers and the spirits never truly rest, waiting for someone to hear the silent cry that echoes through the night. And there you have it, the top 15 haunted places in Liechtenstein, where the past never truly fades. Whether it's restless spirits, ghostly apparitions, or eerie sounds, these locations remain haunted by the memories of those who came before. Dare to visit these places, but remember, not all spirits are willing to stay in the past. Would you brave these haunted sites? Let us know in the comments below.